am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with just one more video, joined today by a very special returning guest, Naya.
What's up?
How are you?
I'm good. How have you been?
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. What's up, y'all? I know y'all missed me. All you trolls.
Listen, there's you got fans on this channel. There's a couple that come to mind that be like, yo, where Naya at in the comments? So
I'm here.
She's here. She's back. She's been busy, but she made time. All right. So listen, I got sent this video and I felt inclined to talk about it. If you guys have never heard of the Roomates podcast, it's these two dudes who just talk about things, and their podcast has blown up over the past couple of years. This one again came across my IG and I wanted to talk about it. I got my heart broken. Anything to say before we get started?
Let's see what he's talking about. Let's talk about these men.
Let's see. You know, this is not something that is an easy thing to talk about, but let's talk about it.
Let's get into it.
All right, without further ado, let's get right into it.
A couple months ago, I met a girl who was amazing. She was beautiful. She was a beautiful soul. She loved God. Like, we just connected on so many different areas, and man, it was a fantastic experience. Man, I had such a great time getting to know her, and we were moving forward to potentially considering what a dating relationship would look like with the potential of marriage. And I was really excited, to say the least, about this young lady. And then unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, I went to go see her and we had a conversation, and it was honestly to the point where she was no longer interested in getting to know me or pursuing anything further with me. And that honestly really hurt. And it's something in which, like, being heartbroken or being hurt is something that a lot of guys don't talk about. I feel like a lot of guys want to act all tough and act like they don't have feelings, but at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and I have no problem sharing and being transparent about that reality of mine. And so, yeah, it was really hurtful. And I was talking to a lot of my friends, and they were just asking me, how I was processing it and how I was feeling. And like I said, there's a ton of emotions that went with it. But the biggest thing.
All right, just real quick. So we got through the beginnings of the story, and he's about to get into a but. So, anything to say before we get started?
I appreciate his vulnerability as a man, because I feel like as women, sometimes we don't see that side of men in this way, where they talk about how they feel or how something bothered them or made them feel. And I think it's important to express that, especially with someone that you're dating. So just his situation is a little different because they're on the kind of tail end of like the breakup or whatever the case may be. I don't even, was that a breakup?
So here's the problem. Exactly what you just said that you appreciate out of him is exactly the reason why he got left.
How so? Explore.
Notice what he was saying. He said, I met a girl, she went to church. Then he said, we were thinking about dating with the possibility of marriage. He fell out head over heels way too early.
But we don't...
Hold up, just stay there, right? Listen to that timeline. He wasn't even dating the girl. No. And the word marriage went into his vocabulary.
But I don't necessarily think that the marriage being his vocabulary is problematic in the sense that he knows what it is that he's looking for. He's a man with intention. Like, this is where I'm at in my life. I'm looking to be married. And they obviously, I'm assuming, because we not talk to the girl, so we don't know, that they had some type of conversation where she led him to believe that they was on somewhat of the same page about having a conversation, like dating. We're both dating for marriage. We're looking to get married. Like, unless he came to conclusions by himself, which is possible. Which happens
a lot. It happens to dudes who, can when it comes to a woman, they stay in their feelings. And they can often take reality and switch it around for what's not reality or an expectation based off of a preconceived notion of what a woman is looking for him to be. So I think, like, here's what messes dudes up is that we can get into these dating relationships and we just think that, oh, if I like her, then it's all good because, we're hanging out together and all women want marriage, all women want this and want that, but not all women do.
That's true, but I feel like women do the same thing. Like, I think, and I can say this as a woman, like, it's like, okay, you're dating a guy, things are going good. You decide you like him and you want him to act a certain way after you decide you like him. And I'm sure men do the same thing, but you decide like, oh, I like him, so I want him to cut everybody up. I want to be exclusive, but you don't have conversations sometimes about that. And then that obviously leads sometimes to hurt feelings because you guys haven't had a conversation. So I think what a lot of people do is they leave out having a conversation about what it is that we are and, what is it that other person is looking for. I feel like that cuts a lot of the red tape. It's like, okay, you're looking for a relationship, so am I. I see this going somewhere with you, so do I. I want to be exclusive, so do I. Or I don't. Or, I'm not looking for that. The conversation is happening regardless. You know what I mean? Because I feel like some people are afraid to have that conversation and then kind of get upset when things go a direction they hadn't planned for because they didn't have a conversation.
Here's the difference between, so I hear what you're saying and I completely understand. And I agree with what you're saying. But women lead with emotion a lot of time. And
some women,
but
yes.
But I think that more than men. But I think it's a little bit more egregious when you listen to a man who leads with emotion. It's a little bit more not your base as a man, in my opinion.
I would say that women fall quicker, but men fall harder.
Well, yeah, I agree with that too. But I would say, like, in like earlier in my life, when before you understand kind of a little bit more about human nature and what your biological base should be, right? Like I'd find myself in situations where I started liking too quick, and I wasn't able to lead with much more of a reality focus. So I put people into boxes too soon. Or I ignored red flags when they were clear, when they were red as hell.
Like my shirt.
Right? Like your shirt. And I did those things. So I almost, when I hear him talk in the way that he talks about this, and he was saying marriage in the same conversation of not even dating this girl, wasn't even dating her. I think he just fell too hard, too quick, too fast.
I mean, he was obviously really into whatever it was that she
brought to the table.
Presented right away. I don't think it's anything wrong with that, but I do think that you should somewhat manage your expectations. But I feel like that's kind of hard to do with feelings because sometimes the shit catches you off guard. Like you were like, oh, I was just chilling with this person. I wasn't expecting to start liking you like this. Like a vibe is a vibe, but sometimes you can't deny. You're like, oh, I like this person, and it happens. How you express it and go about it, that can be managed. How you feel might not be managed, but I do feel like, sometimes people intentionally pump the brakes from the exterior, even if inside they're going like they're going 100 miles per hour, they pump the exterior brakes to be like, okay, let me make sure that I'm being realistic. Even though I have these feelings, I'm trying to kind of like ease my way through this situation because I don't know that they're feeling the same way.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't have those feelings, it's just like, okay, I just want to, it's a defense mechanism. It's like I'm gonna protect myself by like, even if I do have these feelings, I'm gonna slow it down so that I can protect myself in case we're not on the same wavelength. So they don't even have to know that I'm feeling that way.
But again, I mean, let's get back to what you said in the beginning. You said you wish more men can yada yada, yeah. And I get that. But also the same type of emotions that allowed dudes to do this the way that he's doing it is the same thing that got him falling too hard, too quick with a chick who wasn't even on the same wavelength as him. You know what I'm saying?
But I think no matter what, in any relationship or situation, it's a risk. Like, you gonna take some L's, you gonna get some dubs. That's the game. Like, at the end of the day, like there's no escaping.
But let me tell you how to take better risk.
But I'm not saying you can't take better risk, but I'm just saying, like, okay, let's say he doesn't say anything And he just kind of keeps it cool. And she like, oh, I feel like he doesn't like me. He's not really even showing me no emotion. Or he's not showing, not even necessarily showing me no emotion, but like he's not even showing me, like I'm not feeling like he's interested. Because I feel like sometimes when people try to like, to kind of mitigate their feelings, it comes off as disinterest. And the other person who might have been interested in the beginning is kind of like, oh, they don't like me, so I'm cool.
I think that's where it's the difference between men and women. I think there's a little bit of more of a component of a man maintaining more of his logical frame in assessing situations that will naturally attract women more than the vice versa. I think what has worked for me, and I know a lot of dudes who watch this channel, is not leading with emotions first. And I feel like at some point there has to be a give and a take. I get you. Mm-hmm. But what definitely happened in this situation, in just a minute and a half of him talking, he fell too hard, too quick, too fast. And she was like, marriage. And then vacated the situation early.
I mean, I think ultimately it comes down to the type of woman that you are dealing with. I think maybe he misgauged her as a certain type of woman that she wasn't. Not just saying that she's not that woman, but I'm just saying
he's probably this type of dude.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying, like,
I don't think he would have changed the gauge no matter what type of woman that she is. I think he probably does this time and time again. My thing is, as long as you learn from the situation, as long as you learn kind of where the missteps were in determining how to do it again in the future, right? Like, I think it's very important that at least if you go through a broken situation, and there's some people that go through it, they go through what's called like red pill rage and they don't bang with women. But there's some people who go through it and they just learn from the situation and just attack it a little bit differently. I was looking at a video today and it was talking about how space increases desire. I mean, and that's true. If you're just feelings and emotion based and you're just looking at the movies and how they tell you how love is supposed to look, you want to be with this person every waking moment. That will drive people away, right? So there's like basic concepts that I feel like him as well as all men should understand when they're going out to the dating game in order to increase attraction, like really increase attraction.
I don't know. I think in this situation, I think he might have presumed she's church-going woman, loves God. She wants, but let me just say why he might have thought that she wanted to be married.
That's the biggest freaks, girl. Am I lying though?
I don't know.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, I think that from a perspective of she's church, she's God-fearing, the idea is that most of those women specifically want to be married because it's like they grow up in the church, they're taught about marriage growing up, yada yada, so they may want to be married more. I think, to your secondary point, I think that it just depends on the women. Some women like full court press, some don't. You just have to read the book, maybe get a couple pages in and start reading the book. Because at the end of the day, some women, they be like, I want attention a lot. They want you to tell them that you're feeling them ASAP in the beginning. Some women want you to, ease them into it, because if you do them too much too quick, they're gonna bolt like a deer in headlights. I think it just depends on the women. So you need to gauge who you're dealing with, get to know them a little bit. Don't put it, even if you are feeling this, just be careful about when you put it out, maybe. And I don't know if I should feel like people should censor their feelings and how they feel, but I do think too much too soon can be a deterrent if A, the person's not looking for that, or B, they got out of another situation and it ended badly, or whatever case it be. They might be like, all right, I'm not looking for that too quickly.
All right, well, let's keep on going in the video, see what else he's got to say, and we'll go from there.
That came to my mind about the experience and about me being saddened and hurt about it not working out was that I think it's okay. You see, I feel like for so many of us, myself included, we've always taken like rejection or somebody not be interested in us or heartbreak or whatever it may be as this is the end of the world. And what I've learned is that it's okay. That I really believe part about being human is to care. I feel like a lot of times in today's age, everybody tries to not care, especially a lot of guys. I feel like there's this veneer of masculinity with these new whole alpha male movements where they think simply not caring is a virtuous behavior and, the victor goes to the one who doesn't care. But I feel like to care is to be human. I feel like to try is to be human. And the reality of the matter is that if you care about somebody and they don't care about you back, it's gonna hurt. It's not gonna feel good, right? If I had a dream of going to Harvard University and I didn't get in and I really cared about getting into Harvard, it's gonna hurt. If I had a dream about getting a job at Microsoft, I didn't get into Microsoft, that's gonna hurt. Why? Because I cared about it and because that feeling wasn't reciprocated. So I realized that to try is okay. And it's okay to be sad when things don't go our way. And I feel like that's part of the human experience. So many of us, we don't want to ever be sad. We want everything to be perfect, and we want romance to be a smooth sails. But I think God created the seasons to show us what life is all about.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Just real quick. It depends how you try. So like he said, if you apply to Microsoft and you don't get in, it's going to hurt. But my thing is how many other companies did you apply to at the same damn time? I applied to Microsoft. I didn't get in. I got final round interviews.
Yeah, but
and I got final round interviews. I didn't get in. But did you put all your eggs in one basket?
But even if you don't put all your eggs in one basket, it doesn't matter. If you want that basket, it's still gonna make you feel some type of way.
Yeah, but you never put all your eggs in one basket, regardless of what you want. Like, I think that there's a component of what he's saying of it's okay to care, it's okay to try. My contention, my argument is it depends how you try. There's different things that you can do in order to increase the likelihood of an intended outcome. It's called efficacy, right? To be a highly efficacious person is to do things with the lowest risk of an undesirable outcome. And I get what he's saying in theory.
But that's playing scared.
But he's still doing it, and no, it's not playing scared because he's saying marriage before he was dating the girl. That's not how you get the girl.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, if you're like, I'm gonna do this because it gives me, it's the least risk averse option. It's like sometimes you gotta play high stakes. Sometimes you gotta shoot, and if you airball or you miss, there's nothing wrong with that.
But it depends how you shoot. It depends how you airball. It depends how you miss. Did you airball because you shot it from full court, or did you at least try to get close? You shot it from 3-point and you had a hand in your face and it was a second, right? Like the situations matter. What we're missing is the context and what he's saying. This is why like YouTubers, content creators, they can take content of situations and hopefully it fits into a lot of different contexts. But his particular context, he led on to a little bit in the beginning. It was specific to him thinking about marriage before dating. Context matters. That's what I'm saying.
But I don't know if he thought about, I mean, he said we talked about dating with the expectation of marriage. So that means we both, I'm assuming both, because I don't know. I don't talk to the girl. Girl, if you see this, call me. Let me know what really happened with old boy, because I mean,
hit us up in the comments.
I'm only getting his side of the story. But I think that I don't know if he came to his conclusion on his own. Is what I'm saying to you. I don't know that. So I don't know if she,
regardless,
because she might have thought come in a situation like, oh, I want to date. I'm dating with my focus being to get married, and then she might be talking to him a little bit further, and it might because he wants to get married, and maybe she was married, but he might be like, she might get to know him more and more, and she's like, like,
now
I still want those things, but not with him.
This is a perfect example. Now think about the two outcomes in this very situation that you're describing. Either A, he went in there with two emotions and then started thinking about marriage prematurely, or B, they both started talking about marriage. The result was the same result. He still got his feelings hurt because he put all his eggs in one basket and went feelings first and not logic first.
But
it didn't play the field. It didn't have options. It didn't give her space.
But I don't know if I don't view love in relationships always with the eye of logic, because I don't feel like I feel like love in itself is somewhat illogical.
Oh yeah.
And so with that being said, there's only so much logic that can go into that situation. Like, because even if he did play the field and like have options or whatever, if you really want somebody, let's say I got a starting five, whatever I got. Ben, I got John, I got Matt, I got Mike, I got Sean. But I really, really, really want Ben. If I really want Ben, I don't give a fuck about Sean, John, Mike, whoever else. I want Ben. And even though I'm playing the field, I still have my eye on one person, because I mean, me personally,
yeah.
I can only really have direct feelings for one person. I don't do the feelings with multiple people. That's not me. Will I entertain multiple people? Yes. But I usually only like one of those people. I mean, other people might be cool, but I don't like them.
Love is illogical. I get it. He was dating. No love should be involved.
I mean, I agree with that. But I also don't.
Wasn't even dating.
Yeah.
He wasn't even dating. He said that in the video.
Yeah, but I wish I had a timeline for the situations. It doesn't. That would at least give me more. Let's say they were talking for like, I don't know, 6 months. Then I feel like maybe I would be. It might make a little more sense why he.
Listen, if he was talking for 3 weeks, let's say it was 3 weeks. Like, let's say it was just 3 weeks. Why are you hurt?
If it was just 3 weeks, I would think this about him. I would be like, is she a rebound? Like, you have feelings from another situation that you kind of just popped over to this new situation.
Feelings is the key word there.
But because I feel like in 3 weeks, like, I don't know.
Now, think about if it was 8 months. Now, how do you feel about the situation?
In 8 months, he might be justified in feeling hurt. I don't know why they would be in the talking phase for eight months, but that's their thing, I guess. I'm not talking to nobody for 8 months before being in a relationship.
So he was friends for 8 months. Still, both situations to me just feel like okay, I get it. You can try, brother. You can, how he said? It's okay.
It's okay to try.
It's okay to try.
It's
okay to try.
It's okay.
It's how you try, my G. I think you have the power to increase your effort. That's my argument. That's what I'm saying. Let
me ask this though. Are you trying less or being risk averse because you are scared of, like, if I let this out the bag that she's gonna hurt me? Or are your feelings really generating at that rate?
You saying if I try less, like, is that risk averse?
No.
But it doesn't mean I'm trying less. It's just what is my stake in this try? Because irrespective of how I put my feelings in, if I put my feelings in, she's not going to like that. So why don't I just keep my feelings out 100% of the time?
How do you know that she's not gonna like that?
Because no woman does. You guys say that you do, but you don't like.
That's not
no
true.
Woman likes an emotional dude.
That's not true.
Like, this right here is not turning you on.
That's not true. Well, I'm not gonna turn me on. So like I said, this is turning me on, but I disagree with the fact that you think that women don't like emotion. Women actually.
No, women like empathy. They like that you can show that you have an understanding of how emotions play out in a situation, but you don't want the dude to be crying. I mean, unless something significant, goddamn, happens.
I do think there's a fine line as far as how much emotion women want men to show, but I think that's because that's the way that women have been conditioned to think about men, and that's the way that men have been conditioned to act.
I don't know. I think there's some biological markers within that. I think like at the core of it, we're just different. Now think about the relationships that you have with your women friends, and then take the wig and the weave off, and then make that a man. Give that person balls. My friends ain't got no wigs. My friends got hair. Yeah, you're right. They actually do. She got earthy, natural friends. Beautiful. But if you were to switch all that, and then you take those very feminine components of your friends and then made that into a man, that would not turn you on at all. Well, so here's the thing. You need a yin to your yang.
Here's the thing. I don't want a feminine man, so to speak, but I don't want a man that's afraid to show emotion either. I need to be able to see that you are human. The way that he was talking about showing that you're human, I think as a woman, I need to see that from you as a man, because I feel like sometimes men are very stoic. They don't show emotion. Even when something hurts them or bothers them, they deal with it in ways that are just plain blank unhealthy and toxic sometimes. They don't, because they're not dealing with things. I think it's okay for a man to show emotion. I think that's perfectly fine. Do I want somebody that is crying at the dime of the hat? Maybe not. But I appreciate and respect a man that is okay with his emotions and he's able to showcase his emotions in a healthy manner, because those that don't, they go around with this toxic behavior and it shows. It comes off as insecurity. So like, you don't think that people can see that, but we see it all over you. We see, because you just look, it's like you're scared. And it's like, it's okay. Like, I think it's just a matter of feeling comfortable and vulnerable enough with the person to be like, this person is a safe space for me to express my emotions. And I think when men find that safe space, they do express their emotion in a different way than they would otherwise.
That's fair. I mean, it's a fair point. You know, as you said earlier in the video, men fall harder, right? Like, you know, I think that there's a component of that is true. But you know, I mean, this can be a whole nother video too. I also think men love harder.
Yeah, and I think that's good. I think when I was growing up, my mom was like, I don't know if it was my mom, but it was some older women used to always say like, your man should love you a little bit more than you love him, because men are a little bit more fleeting when it comes to situations. Women, it's like most women, if they down for you, they're down for you. As a man, I feel like sometimes y'all got wandering eyes. So if he loves you a little bit more than you love him, it kind of tightens the leash a little bit, but for lack of better words, it's like it appears that he's less likely to try to do some bullshit, because it's like, okay, like I really love her, I really care for her, like deep. But I mean, there's people that will tell you they love you and still do bullshit anyway. So I don't know if that's true. But I will say that men, I think, do tend to love harder. Women fall faster, so I think the feeling's not the same.
I agree, because they're emotionally based.
But women are typically emotion driven. Because not all women are like that, but typically women are we are emotionally driven. We move off of emotion. Some people more so than others. Some people know how to manage that. You know, it's like you move off emotion, and then you have people that don't. And
you know how frightening that is. You know, because someone who completely moves off of feelings, it's love by condition. It's love that as a man, I can supply to you all of the things that at whatever given point in time I supplied to you. That I can always make you laugh, that I can always make you smile, that I can always provide for you financially. And if any of those things was to slip, then your feelings would come into play. Logic would keep you there, because you're like, this person did X, Y, Z, A, B, C. They were able to pull me up when I was down, and now they're down. I'm gonna pull them up. Feelings-based people, they often don't live life in a very fair way.
So I don't know if that's true, because I feel like I've seen people that move off of emotion stay in very toxic relationship situations based off that emotion, and the person is no longer doing anything for them. The person is actually doing
it. Could go the other way. I agree with you.
So I feel like it just depends on. It depends on.
That's a good point. You made a good point.
Like.
That's a great point.
So I don't know. I think that I think when you move off emotion, though, sometimes it distorts your mind. I think there has to be a healthy balance of emotion and logic as far as, you know, what's really important to you. Like, okay, let's say we're in a relationship and you make me mad. Yeah, I'm mad, but I'm not about to head to divorce court and divorce you for married because I'm mad at you. You know, It's like I'm going to maybe take a second to myself to be like, okay, are you overreacting? Is this something you should really be mad about? Because sometimes I feel like, you know, certain situations trigger other situations, and so it kind of causes you to react a certain way. And then once I do decide for, like, you know, or maybe I'm just mad, then I need to talk to you about it in a way that is healthy, that we can move forward as a couple. And that's where the logic is coming in. It's like, oh, okay, this is a marriage. I'm not walking out on him because we had an argument about something stupid. Like, I'm going to put on my big girl panties. I'm gonna have a conversation about why this made me upset, and then hopefully we can move forward in a positive direction. So I mean, I ultimately think that, you know, there has to be a healthy balance of both. But with that being said, I feel that way for the men's side too. Like, you know, there has to be a healthy emotion. Like, I need to feel for whatever my love language might be, words of affirmation. So I might want you to tell me, babe, I love you, you're beautiful, like whatever the case may be. And that's kind of emotional talk or whatever, but it's what makes me feel happy. And so it might be, you know.
Key to life, one of the keys to life is balance, for sure. I don't think, getting back to the video, and we'll wrap up here in a second. I don't think that he had balance going into the relationship in order to get heartbroken with someone who you weren't even dating, and you're thinking, and the word marriage came up in your conversation. That's my final thought. Any final thoughts on this video?
I have no final thoughts on this part. We can move on and.
I was gonna end the video. I didn't want to see it anymore. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
It's no disrespect, but I just feel like we got the main point of the video, and I don't want to.
Okay.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So let's do another one though.
All right.
I mean, you want to watch some?
No, we good. I was just gonna see what fam had said. We're good though. It's good.
We're good. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. You guys can watch the rest of the video if you want. How about we can watch it after I turn this off? All right.
Bye guys.
All right. I need a refill. Anyway, bye. All right. Until next time, you two. Listen, mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Keep on sending me video requests. Listen, keep on sending them now because I feel like I'm gonna change up the process any day now. Okay. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Now, anything to say before you sign off?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm about to have you again. Oh,
that sounds kind of weird.
Until next time, you two.